fairly safe to say that every one of us at some time or another has been captivated by the sight and sound of a marching band. Youngsters in particular, and well, yes, even we grown-ups, who ought to know better, like to imagine ourselves striding along proudly, belting out a rousing tune or two. But what's it really like? A cold Sunday morning in January at the Wolverhampton Civic Hall, and here we see band members arriving for a special practice session. The bandmaster is putting everyone through their marching paces, ready for an appearance at the Royal Albert Hall later in the year.
Line trombone, saxophone, line, flute, bass, clarinet, you should be on the centre line now. The next line on the brass should be on the 4, which is where the back line is present. And the next line to that should be on the 8, which is 4 away from the position you're in now. And that has got to work because you only in fact move that amount forward. You only move 4. Turn. You only move 4, so you can't possibly get back any further, but you always manage to do it, I don't know how. Let's have a bit of turn, please, on the left hand man. Know who you are, who it involves. Wait, until the crash appears. Here we go. Table open some more. Don't move or sit down or do anything when you've ended. I've got to check the position from here. Don't walk away, stay still. Here we go. 1, 2.
Back in 1979, the Penn and District Band were the first youth band ever to perform at the Albert Hall at the Festival of Remembrance. It was then that they were invited to join the Royal British Legion.
Right, it's looking okay, it's looking a lot better than it did last week. There is a meaning to it, it's got a lot of substance to it, which makes a change. The only problems that are occurring at the moment are covering and rushing. Now that time, everything seemed to go too fast. Everybody was moving too quickly, too much of a step, etc. You've got to portray the mood of the music and control that you need to conduct yourself in a smoother manner. And you're going around in some kind of dog race. Right? You don't have to rush all the time. People are getting into a position a little bit too early and taking a little breather before turning. It's designed to hit position, then turn. Right? Now it is a lot better for something with good substance in. Let's take a quarter of an hour break. Okay? Back to come. And if you can remember these positions, I want you to get back into these positions when I give you fall in. Mark off correctly, if you'll need to for the next movement. So when you give them fall out, have a 15 minutes, take it easy, have a natter, and then when you give you fall back in, get back into these positions. Right, where's this? All natters.
If you thought that looked hard, imagine having to play instruments at the same time. Marching up and down, however, is not required on every occasion, which must come as something of a relief to all concerned. Here they are, performing at the Goodyear Pavilion in Wolverhampton in front of a captive audience.
Penn District Royal British Legion Youth Band. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay then, so it's nitty-gritty time, down to playing. I want to start off with it is a warm-up number, so it takes a little while for the instruments to tune. So it's actually a very slow melodic beginning, chordal systems, just to get the air through the instruments, because we were standing out there for 15 minutes. My fault again. And then a little bit louder, and then there's a little bit of rock and roll type of feel to it after that. But this is just a warm-up. So this is Twilight with a man, a horse, and his gun.
The band normally practice here at Collingwood School, but they need to be dedicated, practicing every Monday, Tuesday and Friday evening and Sunday mornings, with individual tuition on certain other days.
It's exactly the same as flash dance. You mustn't overplay your parts going above the tune, otherwise you lose the tune. So
now let's compare this practice session with the real thing. We took a cross-section of band members, why they were cross we don't know, and fired a string of impertinent questions at them.
Mark, how old are you?
23.
And how long have you been with the band?
About 6 years now.
And what rank are you?
Sergeant.
And what responsibilities have you as a sergeant?
Well, to look after this load of level here. And generally take over when the bandmaster's not there, organise different things, take different things like drill, and like the other NCOs out with the different sections, whatever.
Who do you answer to then?
Directly to the bandmaster, yeah.
Julie, what instrument do you play?
Clarinet.
And how long have you been playing the clarinet?
About 3 years.
And have you ever wanted to play any other instrument?
I used to play the trumpet when I first started.
What made you change?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like the trumpet? No. Mark,
Yeah, well,
how long have you been in the band?
9 years.
And how did you get started?
Well, my sister joined first and she asked me to come along, so I did.
What instrument do you play?
Saxophone.
Julie,
Hello.
what rank are you?
Lance Corporal.
And how long did it take you to get to this stage?
About 3 years.
And what did you have to do to become a Lance Corporal?
Show ability in the band. As you move, first you join, and then if you show ability to teach and to take other children who join, then they just promote you.
Do you have to do extra duties there?
You got more responsibility, and sort of you can't be one of the kids anymore. You have to grow up a lot quicker.
Yeah. And what rank do you hope to become next?
Well, the next stage up is corporal, which is 2 stripes.
There are 3 promotions to take care of now. I would like to give a tremendous amount of credit to the NCOs for their backing over the last 3 months. They have been absolutely tremendous, and without them I don't think I'd be standing here with the band tonight. So I'd like to offer my thanks to those people. First of all, to promotion to the Assistant Drum Major, Jason Vickers.
The promotion of a member can only be decided by the bandmaster. While the promotion may occur at any time, it will not be made official until declared so at the annual inspection.
Promoted to Sergeant, Helen Southern. Promoted to Staff Sergeant, Mark Morris. Right, without further ado, obviously this is the band's presentation evening, and what it involves is the giving out of prizes across the sections to the various individuals who, in my opinion and the opinion of the NCOs, have achieved something special during the year. Right, the first award, very difficult one to pick. This is for the best improved colour guard, and the award this year goes to Zoe Rathbone. Right, well now new members then, come on tremendously since you joined us not all that long ago. Next award, the best colour guard. Again, rather a difficult one, but at the end we came down to side with Nicola Higginson.
Back at Collingwood School, the colour guards sometimes practice their routines in this hall, separate from the rest of the band. During the winter months, when the band makes fewer appearances, the colour guard can enter a separate competition known as the Winter Guard.
Michelle, how old are you?
11.
And you're one of the youngest members of the band?
Yes.
Is there anybody younger?
Yes.
And how long have you been playing in the band?
About 3 years.
And what do you actually do in the band?
I'm the colour guard.
Sorry, just had to leave that.
Yeah, you just swing the flag.
You've got a flag and you do a little routine in front of the band one.
To the music.
And do you have separate competitions for the colour guard?
Yes.
Yeah, well. How old are the other members in the colour guard?
15 or so.
They range from, you're one of the youngest, to about 15.
Right, I mentioned earlier on that our colour guard weren't going to be available for our Albert Hall display. So they've been working on something the last few days by themselves, very slow ballad, want to watch what they do now and get some kind of impression what they actually do to our tunes besides what you've seen earlier on to our marches. This is a very slow one, I think it's from Starlight Express. We have to be really, really quiet if we can in this, because unfortunately there's no tape PA system here, and we're having to use a microphone and a tape recorder. That's the way it goes. So if we can have a little bit of hush when they're going through, because they are cued off the music, and it can be difficult sometimes if they can't pick it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Penn District, Royal British Legion, Colour Guard.
Look at me, a woman, calm and in control. No silly girl who sits always standing. Nobody would guess that, even by my clothes.
Well, wasn't that something?
Tell us a bit about the league system. And how it works.
Basically, it's like football system. You get your bands, and like they enter so many competitions, you get so many points. And if you're not good enough, you're relegated. And if you're, one of the lower divisions, if you come to scratch, you're promoted.
And what's the current position of the band in the league?
It's around about 4.
Well, how many bands are in the league, do you know?
We're 22.
Is it hard maintaining such a high standard?
It is in the Premier Division, which we're in.
How many countries have you been to?
Well, I've been to 2. Yeah, but the band...
Do you get to see much of these countries, or is it all work?
Well, no, not really. I mean, you do parades and concerts and whatever. And then, you get a lot of free time for yourself. It's really good.
How long do you see yourself staying in the band?
I don't know. As long as they want me, really.
And what do you play in the band?
Quince, 5 drums.
If you're one of those youngsters who's always being told to put a sock in it, then you could retaliate by joining the band as a drummer. Drum practice can be so loud that the percussion section are obliged to use an empty corridor.
1, 2, ready, play.
Improved percussionist. Now this is one of the people who has achieved a reasonable standard, but then during this year has bettered that standard. So it's not a person who's coming from nowhere and just starting, and that award goes to Michael Call. On to the next one. We'll get them through as fast as possible, get in with the playing. Best percussionist. Now, to me, this was picked 2 or 3 weeks ago. Probably the easiest one I've had to pick out of all of these, because this lad has done tremendously well on this section. The award goes to Adrian Nichols.
Adrian?
Yeah.
What do you play in the band?
Play Sneeden.
And how long have you been playing?
About 6-7 years.
Do you practice a lot?
Yeah, every night.
An hour?
Yeah.
Every night?
Yeah.
Is it hard playing a drum in a large band?
Well, not really. It's pretty hard, depends what you're playing.
And what's your favourite piece of music?
Fancy.
to any other countries with the band?
Yeah, Germany, Ireland, and just around Britain.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
And what's your favourite piece of music?
Oh, Flashdance.
And what's your favourite piece of music?
Flashdance.
What instruments do they play in your section?
Clarinets, saxophones and the flute occasionally.
And you play?
The clarinet.
The clarinet.
Best improved wind player, again there's probably 6, 7 and upwards even, people that I could have picked in this case. But eventually I plumbed to somebody who has come from nowhere and has come quite a long way, and indeed he's quite a good player at this stage. The award goes to Caravan Carey. Now, we've got 2 killers to do now. These are the real meanies to pick. I think it shows some credit that the next one, the best wind player, took me so long to pick, because there are so many now good players amongst us that it makes it incredibly difficult. And I think that is a good reflection on the band as a whole, that it has left me a little bit short of time in actually picking them in the end. But in the end, I've plumped for a past winner, Lynn Johnson.
What's your favourite piece of music?
Hootenanny, especially the Chicken Reel, which is a clarinet solo.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Scratchy, do you?
In fact, I'm glad you said that, because we got you on, we've got it and you go...
Right, special award. There is a person amongst us who has done a tremendous amount of work since I took over at the beginning of October in promoting the band, in doing various letters to parents, supporters, etc., etc. So a special merit award I'd like to hand out tonight to Graham Checkins. Right then, I talked earlier about the Charles Atkins Award. I've talked about in what criteria I've judged it. This person has both taken from the band and then used that information that has been gained to pass it on to another player. And that is what has got to happen for the band to keep going in the future. One of these days, the Wolves are going to play that bad that I'm going to keel over and there won't be much left of me, and somebody is going to take the mantle. So the Charles Atkins Award for this year goes to Suzanne Jones.
It's interesting to see how pleased everyone seems to be for the winners when their names are announced. It's a clear indication of the friendly atmosphere and team spirit that exists within the band.
And the final award, probably the most important. This is the Bandsman of the Year Award. It's not just judged on how a person can play, or how many times a person comes to practice, parade, etc., etc. It's on likability, character, willingness to help, especially at the end of evenings when you've got to load up all the equipment, etc., etc. Get on the boot of the coach and all this sort of stuff. It's a nitty-gritty award, I would call it, but it's something that I think I picked up a few years ago because I was a trier. And there's no greater trier in the band than the winner of the award tonight. The winner, Bandsman of the Year, is Mark Malpass.
Here we see the two mace bearers, Lisa and Jason. Jason's the one on the left, for any of you short-sighted viewers that may be watching. Now, they may not have won any awards, although Jason was promoted to assistant drum major, but they're clearly in a class of their own. Lisa is said to have been born with a mace in her hand, which must have come as one heck of a shock to the midwife. But the many years of practice with it have certainly paid off to good effect. Let's see her in action.
In front of me here we have our mace bearer, stroke drum major she likes to call it, Lisa Spencer. I'm sure she's going to put on a very good show and probably give me a haircut at the same time during this number. This one is a very fast Spanish march called Amperita Roca. Watch out very carefully, as you all probably know by now, for these lovely ladies here on the top clarinet line on the quiet piece. See if you can spot what they're doing. Hopefully you can, and you'll hear the intricacy of a very, very difficult part. So just listen out for that.
the end of this corridor in Collingwood School, past refreshment tables, which are always laid out on practice nights, lies the room where the band uniforms are kept. The responsibility of looking after these uniforms belongs to Maureen Higginson, who we dropped in on unexpectedly.
Maureen, are the uniforms based on any real military uniforms?
Yes, they're based on Welsh Guards. That's the players are based on the Welsh Guard. There's two types of uniform, one for the colour guard, which you can see over here. Basically, which was Wendy's own design, is for a show band type of uniform. And these here are a replica of the Welsh Guards that the players themselves actually wear.
How much does one uniform cost?
Well, roughly in today's prices, they're about £100 to kit one child out.
For one child?
One child.
How many members are in the band?
At the moment there's 40.
So it's quite expensive
plus,
to get them out.
about 10 colour guard.
10, yeah. And what's involved in maintaining them?
Quite a lot, as you can see, especially before a performance. Usually I press them, trousers and skirts, and do any repairs before a performance, which usually takes most evenings. They're cleaned usually before we have a contest, so they're all smart.
And you obviously enjoy it?
Yeah, I'll be doing it. Yeah, I haven't been doing it that long. About 2 months, 2 years now. Still find it a lot at times, but I get a lot of help.
Of course, the chance to wear one of these snazzy uniforms is an added attraction in belonging to the band. Fortunately, the cost of the uniform comes out of the band's funds and not out of the parents' pockets, although members are required to pay a modest subscription.
Roll! 1, 2.
Percussion section wear the pith helmets, and the brass and the wind section wear busbies. As I say, it's...
Busbies being the fluffy ones?
Yeah. The girls wear skirts, boys trousers, black tights, lace-up shoes. My job before concert or parade or whatever, you'll get them ready as well. Hair. Very strict spent hair.
Really?
Tie back. Oh yes, no jewellery, no makeup. Oh yeah.
So it's like real military?
Very much so. Yeah. That's basically it, I think.
You will move to your display positions quickly, quietly, smoothly and correctly.
Wait a minute, those uniforms don't look normal, and neither do the people wearing them. But it's all right, it's just Ian Hotchkiss, the bandmaster, and a few other twerps, keeping the crowd entertained during the interval.
We'll march to the front. Display positions. Quick. March.
That's nice, Bob. That's right, Bill. That's right.
Squad. Run around now. Squad. We'll advance. Forward. March. What's it time for?
It's time for rehearsal.
As bandmaster, Ian has the hardest job of all.
We took it a couple of Fridays ago when we tried to play can-can pace, possibly my fault there. We're going to drop it slightly down and keep it nice and sharp. Remember the end.
Not only does he arrange and conduct the music, he also has to teach the band how to play it.
Mezzo forte start, motto piano, make sure you all come in together. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Incidentally, although the band is required to attend all major practice sessions, time off is allowed for revision for school exams. We spoke to Ian just after the Goodyear concert and asked him how it went.
Quite well, very well in parts, and not so well in a couple of other numbers. A little errors are made, but it's a hard thing to play for a long period of time, and it's sometimes difficult to get the audience on your side. Once we got them on our side and got them more involved, I think it went very well, very pleased.
All the translates up to these roll translates.
Spot the one that belongs in the safari park. Come on, Mr. White. Good. Take them now. Rock on, Thomas. Oh, look at... Ooh. Oh, I've just been informed that I'm supposed to take on me. Right, I'm going to introduce now my hairy legs.
Can you tell us how long you've been with the band?
Oh dear. It's coming up to my 15th year now. It's not very long as bandmaster, it only runs into the period of 4 months now as bandmaster. Most of my days are spent as a player. 1972 I think it was when I joined, so it's as I say, it's coming up for the 15th year now.
And takes up most of your time?
Me personally, yes, but it is a sort of a labour of love. It's 7 days for me, 5:30 to 9:30 every day of the week. So it's hard, but as I say, it is a hobby, more or less, like people collect trains or do whatever. Then I do what I do, which is teach kids how to play music.
How long do you see yourself staying with the band?
It's difficult to say, really. Doing that amount of time obviously takes a lot out of you, but last few months have been very hectic and very wearing, but slowly the things that I want to do are becoming a little bit easier to do. I can't see any problem with me being around for, unless something drastic happens, for a very long time. I hope that people give me the chance to be able to stay that long.
Great.
Okay, a few months ago, a few of the girls came up to me and they said, how come we don't play any aha music or all this type of stuff? How come we don't play any level 42 and all this? Then the lads came up to me and said, how come we don't play the Wolves signature tune? So I was trying to figure out in my brain, how can I possibly put the two together? Then finally it clicked. Somebody said, why don't we play a tune about the bandmaster? I thought, well, that's quite a good idea, you know, ego trip, right? And then I thought, if I put the three together, aha, the Wolves and the bandmaster, I would come up with a very famous western, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Right? Just before we start playing, a bit of mention here, the drummers aren't having a snap. They actually have given a rest in this one, they do not play in this one, so don't worry about them, they're just getting their fingers supple for the next number.
Who's this having a crafty drink at the bar? It's got to be Roy Higginson, the band's organiser. And yes, he is married to Maureen, who looks after the band's uniforms.
Right. Roy, what kind of places does the band appear at?
Well, it varies. Carnivals, fetes, parades, really. Any organisation that needs the services of a band like ours, they'll get in touch with me and we'll go along and do it.
Yeah, and how do you go about arranging bookings?
Hopefully by recommendation. Normally somebody will have seen the band the previous year, word of mouth, or the final resort, then you have to get on the old telephone and sort of try and get a booking for the band. But mainly there are, it's word of mouth or recommendation. They would have seen the band at a previous engagement and will come along and say, you know, can your band do so and so, and that's how it normally works.
And what other ways is money raised for the band?
Well, there's various ways we raise money. We do sponsored walks, the kids will do a sponsored walk. The subs which are paid every Friday. There's letters wrote, begging letters if you like, to companies, you know, requesting financial assistance. We just recently had a grant of £500 off Wolverhampton Council. That's to purchase a sousaphone. And basically, the bulk of the money comes from engagements. Without the engagements, they wouldn't be able to survive the way they do.
So you haven't any regular sponsors then?
No, none at all. We're looking for one. Well, the advantages of belonging to the Legion, they're a stable organisation. They look after us as far as guidance. And on the same token, they leave us totally alone. They let us run our own affairs. We look after our own books. We spend the money as we see fit, obviously with their permission in certain cases. But I think really it's more of, they're an institution which are stable and that we can depend on them. If we need assistance, if we needed help, we could turn to the Legion for it. Hopefully, or thankfully, we haven't had to do that at the present time.
The next piece of music we're going to try, and it is probably the word try, it's probably one of the hardest marches that any, well, in fact I'll say definitely, the hardest march that any youth band has ever tried or will be likely to try. It is the main theme, the main gist to our band. It is based on the British Legion, and it is the British Legion March.
basically on the upkeep, uniforms, instruments, the purchase of new instruments, the upkeep of uniforms, transport costs. That's a right thorn in the side sometimes. When we go to contests, we have to find our own costs, whereas if it's a paying engagement, that cost is found by the fee. But really, it's just a matter of the general running of the band week to week, buying new instruments if we feel they need the instruments, and occasionally a treat for the kids will take them to Blackpool or the likes. But he, in the way he is, he likes to keep a rather lot of money in the bank for emergencies.
Yeah. So, how long do you see yourself staying with the band?
Well, that's a good question. Normally, I suppose you'd say as long as your children were active in that particular organisation. I mean, that was the reason I joined the band in the first place, or got involved with them, because my children were involved with them. But I'd like to think that my children have still got a lot of years left in them as far as the band's concerned, and even hopefully after that my enthusiasm would still be the same, and I would probably stay with them in some form, whether just to support them, really.
Yeah, you obviously enjoy them.
Well, you have to, otherwise, I mean, you just wouldn't do it. I don't know, it's something in your blood, really. It's like, well, I don't know what it's like. You either like that type of thing, or you don't. There's no in between. Some people will come along and they'll just say, well, what a row, and walk out. Me, I happen to like it, and I think that's really what the attraction is.
Ladies and gentlemen, land of hope and glory.
for in a new recruit?
Yes, I think the ability to work hard. It is hard work. You don't achieve something like we have achieved, which I think is very good, easily. They don't need to be musically minded. That is my job. If they do play an instrument, then I think it's a definite bonus. They'll get in quicker. But if they don't, if they're willing to work hard, then it's up to me to get them to the standard that I require for them to actually be part of it. And I think it is something that is very worthwhile doing. With the amount of bad publicity about the youth today, there's something here that I think is very, very good. Gives them a chance to travel, gives them a chance to see people and entertain people, and to have a good night like they've all had tonight.
So, if anybody is interested, what should they do?
Oh, well, they can contact me at any time, if my address can be popped on the end of this clip or something like that. If not, on a telephone number, Wolverhampton 76R3, or if they're in the vicinity of Collingwood School, any time, any day of the week from Monday to Friday, running from 5:30 until 9:30, then they're perfectly at rights to come in and have a natter with me. And just find me out, ask for Ian, and they're almost there.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed.
If you are interested in joining the Penn and District Royal British Legion Youth Band, or would like any information about it, then you should either phone Ian Hotchkiss on Wolverhampton 726013, or write to him at 68 Ecclestone Road, Ashmore Park, Wensfield, or go along to Collingwood Road School and ask for him there.
Well, if you'd like to see how the band got on in their first contest of the season, join us after the break.
Okay, now everybody pay attention. If you've got something special that you want a permanent record of, could be an amateur dramatics presentation or a school play or a pop band or any variety of stage acts, but keep them clean. Could even be a sports club promotion. Then keep a lookout for this sign. Yeah, that's the one. Hold it up. Pirate Video Productions offers you a multi-camera setup using a lot of the latest complex equipment. You can put your hands down now. We're able to bring to you a wide variety of mixes, like this one coming up. And also an odd assortment of wipes. Now what you got there is what they call a mugshot. And right there, that's another mugshot. And if ever a mug deserved to be shot, it's him. You know, I think the last time I saw a face like that, I was staring up at a church roof. Now, what you're about to see is some of the wide range of special effects we can also produce. We can alter the color, change the tint, even add or subtract luminance. And a pretty nauseating sight it makes, too. Make the guy feel cold, turn him inside out. Changes look. Yeah, we're still here. So now you know what it's like to be on top of the pops. Now right there we can see straight through the guy. Then again, you always could. Yeah, I know it's a pretty corny joke, but you gotta expect that once in a while. Okay, let's put him back to normal. You call that normal? Now remember, folks, with pirate video productions, you can bet your boots. That's right, your boots. That you're gonna get a top quality video at an affordable price. We start from as little as 120 pounds, which by a strange coincidence happens to be this guy's weight. So don't go to the cowboys, come to the pirates. Ring console 3355.
I was going to say all that. July the 4th, the Penn and District Band appeared at Burntwood, competing in the Premier Class. They turned in another creditable performance.
Major, is your band ready? Thank you. Penn and District, you may commence your display. Thank you, the Penn District Royal British Legion Youth Band.
Well, there you have it. And you can keep it. On tape, that is, as long as you like. Now remember, folks, Pirate Video Productions is always moored in Codsall. Tell your relatives. Tell your friends. Tell your relatives' friends. Tell your social worker, tell your parole officer. Tell the world. Better yet, tell your sister and save a lot of time. This is Peter Robert Ball, weighing anchor. Goodbye. 6 stone 7 ounces. Well, that'll be a lot of good in the strong current.